Hello YouTube and to all my subscribers, this is Raging Do It Yourself Tutorials, and today I'm gonna be making a video tutorial about my brush presets for Adobe Photoshop. Yeah, so this video will be about Adobe Photoshop brush presets. So let's go on to Adobe Photoshop. Let's create a new file, new canvas. Let's go with 2000 width and height and a resolution of 300 pixels. Okay, so let's press OK. Now, the first thing that we're gonna be tackling for today is for those people who wanted to start digital arts without any graphic tablet. So the first thing that I'm gonna show you is a preset, how I do line arts in Photoshop 6 CS6 by using only a mouse. So the thing that we're gonna do is we'll go into the brush preset first. Alright, so just click on it and then we'll go here and choose any of this. I usually use this, this, and this one, and likely this one. So I'm gonna go with this first. Alright, so then click this one, the brush. Then you can change the settings of the brush here. So I'm gonna click on the shape dynamics, and then as you can see here, the size jitter is 0. The pen pressure, just click on that, even though you're not using let's say a graphic tablet, but I'll explain it later. Then in the minimum diameter, you can actually change this into whatever you want it to be, but since we'll be using a mouse, let's just put this into 10 so that it will not be really thin in some parts. And then I'm just gonna leave everything here off and 0%, and then we'll go into smoothing. Just click on that. Okay, so let's start creating line art using a mouse. So when you are creating a line art using a mouse, you're just gonna use this tool. This tool is the pen tool, right? So that's the thing that we're just gonna do. Just like in paint tool side, just gonna drag click. This one is like you shape it to how you want it to look like. So gonna try it now. Okay, here we go. Let's create a new layer. Okay, click alt to like stop the line there. Okay, click alt. Alright. Okay, so then right click, then click this one, right click, then stroke path, and then choose brush, so that it will follow the settings that we did with the brush. Then click this option, simulate pressure. Before that we click on this, let's see how the lines would look like if it doesn't have a simulate pressure. Okay, let's press OK. So that's the line that we created. It's plain and boring. So let's change it. Right click, stroke path, and then click on this simulate pressure. Click and then OK. And then as you can see, that's it created a dynamic into the line that we created. Yeah, so now let's I'm gonna try to add some of something to make it look better. Okay, just stroke the path. Oh, right, delete, go to brush preset, changed here like 11, then go to brush, stroke, path. I think you get the idea. Now delete that one. Then go again to brush and change it to 35 pixels. Okay, so then we're gonna be drawing some eye around here. Okay. Then stroke path. Okay, that's looking good. And then again, we're gonna change this into around 7 pixels. Okay, to create a line dynamics around this guy. So let's stroke path, delete. That's just basically how you do things, just rinse and repeat. Stroke path, delete. Okay, so that's something now, right? So the next thing we're gonna do is to create circles, is to add elliptical marquee tool. Click on that and then add a new layer, something like that on the line, and change the brush presets around 15 or 12. Okay, then this tool, then let's create something. Just gonna press shift when you're doing this so that it will make a perfect circle out of it. Okay, and then you're on that one. I'm just gonna something like that. Then just gonna right click, then stroke path, stroke this one, click on this, 10 pixels. I'm just gonna change it to 12. I think that's too much. Stroke around 4. Okay, I think that's look decent. Okay, so you have now something. You have the shape of the face and the eye. You just we all created this just using the pen tool and the mouse. So let's proceed. Okay, so basically this is how we do things using paint tools. I mean using Photoshop. Just gonna stroke path, then you have something decent. Stroke path. Okay, so as you can see, we have a line art. You can change this, since I made this like a 35 pixels, so just gonna change it to around 15 so that it will look good and more has the perfect dynamic on the lines. So now basically that's everything that you're gonna do when you are using a mouse. So yeah, the tool that you're gonna use first is to set your when you're doing a line art using a mouse, you must set your brush presets here. So you just click on that, then choose this one, and then right here brush, then click on shape dynamics. Then you can change it here. You can add a minimum diameter of 10%, and then click on smoothing and leave everything here off, and then 0%. And then you go into the pen tool. Then you start creating lines, and then you right click it and then stroke path. Then once you are in the part when you draw an eye, I'm just gonna click on this icon. This is where you draw a rectangular marquee tool and elliptical marquee tool. So you just click on that, then start create a new layer, then make the eye. So okay, so that's everything about the brush preset on the mouse user. For mouse users, this is how basically you do everything when you are in Photoshop CS6 when you are drawing line art. So the next thing that we're gonna be showing you is for those guys that does have a graphic tablet, and I have a graphic tablet and it is a really cheap one. So let's go into it. So the settings that I usually do when I create line art is just basically the same thing as the I mean the when you're doing line art using a mouse, just click on this guy or shape dynamics, then add an angle jitter. A minimum diameter of 10%. Then let's try starting to draw a line. Okay, so here we go. Yep. Okay. So this is just an example how you do inking and line art, but basically it's better when you do this is when you have a rough sketch and how your character will how your drawing will look like, so that it will look good. So basically this is just like a sketch. Okay, the thing is about that I do not use Photoshop anymore for line art is that it doesn't have this kind of feature that I really like on the paint tool side, which is a stabilizer. It makes your lines look more straight, smooth, and if you have a shaky hands like me, it's a really a big problem. And so that if a really big problem when you do some line arts, because as you can see here, there are lines that are messy and shaky because of it. So yeah, without that option, it seems like my line arts are really, it doesn't have that nice dynamic on it. And sometimes I think it's my graphic tablet, because it's cheap. Sometimes it doesn't really get the right pressure, but when I'm using it in paint tool side, it really gets the pressure well, and it's really like natural when you're doing it in paper and pen or anything like that, the real world. It's like really nice when you're on paint tool side. It's like everything is normal, but in Photoshop it's like as you can see, guys, I have done my line art. That's the setting that I usually do. Sometimes I use this guy. That's it's the same, but it has some dynamics on. Sometimes it's not that really thick. Yeah. So it's also nice to do that. And also this one, I choose then I draw something. Basically in Photoshop there is no really that big difference in creating brush preset and line art, because it's not that really good. But if you have Photoshop, then you can do this, but I really suggest that you use paint tool side when creating line arts and digital arts, creating anime. Yep, because of the stabilizer option, and doing line arts using a mouse in paint tool side is really easy. I mean it. So you can check my video about my brush presets and my paint tool side. You can check it out. And also, if you don't want to migrate or you don't want to change using Photoshop, and then you just want to stick to Photoshop because that's what you have decided, you can have a brush preset. You can download that actually. Here it is, gumroad.com, DQHZ. This is Kyle. He makes Photoshop brush packs, and Yeah, I've got this one, and I have something that you would like. Those brush presets is only good if you have graphic tablet. So here is good for creating mangas and everything because it has this inking and inking thick and thin, and for pastels, coloring, the Kyle Ultimate preset for line arts and for drawing brushes and everything is really good. So let's try that out. Okay. So yeah, so that's how the brush looks like. It's really thick. Okay, this is just a rough sketch. This is these preset is really good if you have a much more expensive graphic tablet which has a very nice pen pressure option. Yeah, so if you don't have if you don't have those one cheap ones like mine, it's kind of like not really good, not really pristine on the settings. So yeah, so basically I use the brush preset, the one I gave you, the same as the line art. Just do that, and it's much preferable. So I think that's it, guys. So if you want to start digital art with Photoshop CS6 or any Photoshop platform, this is how I do my line art. Uh, um, this tutorial is about for the mouse users and for graphic users. I hope that this video tutorial is helpful to you guys, so I'm gonna be making more, and thanks for everyone that have supported my video. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye.